Hello, and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast where we watch movies that we've never seen and then, talk about them or whatever. I'm your host, Betsy, and with me is your other host, Trent, my husband.
I'm also another host.
So today we are going to watch another movie that neither of us has ever seen.
Yeah.
It is 2018's Ready Player One.
Divisive
choice. So my understanding from this movie, I don't know anybody who really loves this movie, but I don't think I know a lot of people who have seen this movie.
Yeah. So Ready Player One, to my knowledge, is like... It's set in a, not post-apocalyptic, but it's...
Kinda.
It's not
future.
apocalyptic, but it's like dystopian future.
There you go.
Yeah. In which, I think it's like set in Ohio. Like, is it Cleveland?
I have no idea.
I think the place it is actually set is future Ohio.
Right.
And things are bleak for the human race, let's say, and how people get their entertainment, how people like get on with their days to not, think about how they're all fucked is to go into virtual reality.
Yes. So I know just based off of clips and different things, there's kind of these weird, like, I don't know if people are living in like vans or like van size hovels.
Right.
They're all their little spaces.
Yeah, they have the very, very small spaces.
Very limited space.
And it's like living in a train yard in a little bit fancier treehouse.
Right.
Is how I see it.
And they all have these VR headsets and gloves, and they kind of go
Yeah.
into this, I don't know, it's not even a game.
No, it's just a virtual world.
It's a virtual world. And that is how they all live their lives.
Right. I think
basically
people,
all
like,
the time,
yeah,
right?
I think like people have their jobs in there, and
Okay.
they just live their lives in there to get away from the bleak
the
realities.
squalor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So this is based on a book.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a tome. This is like a big old book is my
Yeah.
understanding. I don't remember who wrote it. I know this movie is Spielberg.
Yeah.
So this was kind of a big deal that he was adapting this.
Right. And I think this was like his he had a long journey to get to this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know when the book came out, but it's been fairly recent. Like within the past 10 years most likely.
Probably.
So he probably read the book, or maybe somebody
Optioned
turned
it,
him on to it and said, hey, you'd be a good fit for this. And yeah, I think it was just a really long time in the making.
Yeah.
Whether it was like the pre-production or the actual production, I don't know, but I know it's a long time coming.
This strikes me as the kind of book that when you're reading it and you think, could this be a movie?
Yeah.
It takes a long time to get made because the technology required to pull it off successfully doesn't always exist.
Sure.
And we've kind of touched on that before. Like if you were to remake some of these movies from 20, 30 years ago, you could do so much more with them now.
Episode 1 comes to mind.
Okay, but the problem with episode 1 is they had the technology, but they didn't ask if they should use the technology. They're like, just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Right. Watching it 20 plus years later, it don't look so hot.
Right. If Mr. Lucas would like to remake something in the technology and clean them up, how about you just make those better?
Well, he wouldn't do
Look
it anymore.
better.
He wouldn't do it anymore, Betsy. It would be Mr. Abrams or Mr. whoever.
What I'm saying is, he went back and redid the
I
original
know.
trilogy.
I know.
So anyway, that's a different story. But yes, Ready Player One, I think will be interesting to see the scope of the computer graphics that they're using.
World.
Yes,
the
in
virtual
this world.
Yeah.
And I know it's a lot of pop culture, like a lot of pop culture.
That was the other thing. So what I understand is that the reason why people thought this movie was going to be impossible to adapt and actually put on screen is because of all the different properties.
The rights.
The rights to be able to get all these characters and references on screen is an impossible task.
Yeah.
But apparently they pull it off. Like there's a lot of things that I'm probably going to recognize more than you because a lot of it is video game related.
Hey, if they could pull it off with Roger Rabbit, where you've got all of the Looney Tunes
Right.
and all the Disney characters.
That was the 80s. Disney was a lot less litigious back then.
Fair enough. They were willing to share in 1980, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, nowadays it's every little thing. And I know in this it's everything from the Iron Giant to what, Pac-Man or
I think there's like the biggest reference in video games is probably a Final Fantasy character.
Okay.
I think that the main dude from Final Fantasy VII is in it, Cloud.
Yeah.
But like beyond that, I don't know who else is in it. I know there's a lot of like freeze frame. You have to pause the movie to like
Because there's so much
look at the background to see where everything is, and I try
it's
to
a-
identify people.
a rich tapestry.
Yeah. So again, there's been a lot of people who have talked about this movie. I never really wanted to watch it because of the divisiveness of it.
Yeah.
And it's not a video game movie.
No.
It's just referencing it. Like Wreck-It Ralph is more of a video game movie than this is, I would imagine.
Probably.
And Scott Pilgrim is kind of a video game movie to a
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But this is just so broad. It's like not even, to my knowledge anyway, it doesn't seem to be like revering them. It's just, hey, remember this guy, remember this property.
Throw it all at you to see
Right.
what you notice.
Right. And it's not like I said, it's not revering it. It's just, hey, remember. For the sake of, hey, we got the rights to put these things on screen.
Yeah. There's a fairly unknown cast. I don't know any big name stars in this movie.
I know nobody in this movie.
I know there's an actress that I've mentioned before. She was in Sound of Metal.
Okay.
So his girlfriend in
Yeah,
Sound
yeah.
of Metal. She's in this movie.
All right.
And the kid I've seen in stuff, like the lead guy,
Yeah.
since then. But again, can't really place him. I don't know the actor's name.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea if there's any big name stars in this.
I mean, being a Spielberg joint, you would hope so. Maybe some voices. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I love you. You just got there at the same time as me. And plot, no idea.
I don't have a fucking clue.
I don't know what the impetus for this is. I don't know what's going to happen to anybody. Boy meets girl.
What
There's
happened
a little of that.
what happened in the world that caused all this to happen?
If we find that out.
Right. Is there like a big bad where we're trying to save the world? Or is it just like a day-to-day thing where, he's going to work one day in virtual reality and then he comes across something and he's got to try to save the world?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, why don't we go find out? So
Yeah.
we're going to go see how we feel about it and see where we land. We're going to watch Ready Player One, and we'll be right back. And we're back. So Trent, Ready Player One, what did you think?
Very, very nerdy movie.
Yes, this is you could watch it many, many times and you're not going to see all the references. They are thrown at you very quickly. And I get that that's the point, but holy cow.
Wow.
Apart from that, though, overall, what are your thoughts?
So I don't understand why this movie is like divisive. Do you know the backstory there?
No, other than it's that thing where the book and the movie are not one and the same.
I think that would be what it is.
That's all it is?
It's I just don't see how this would be
There's nothing offensive about it.
other than its highly pandering nature.
Okay, so here's what I'll say about this.
Okay.
I kind of liked this movie.
I did too.
I don't think I loved it. I don't think this is one I'm going to revisit a lot, but I was finding myself getting absorbed. And I
Yeah.
think what it boils down to is two words: Steven Spielberg.
Sure.
He has a deft touch at making these like saccharine sweet family type movies where it's trying to strike a chord in your heart. And I think that if you don't have a sentimental undercurrent in your being, this maybe beats you over the head.
A little bit. A little bit, yeah.
You know, it's all friendship and being a lonely person and making bonds and coming together and, you know.
Which, okay, all right. So, me personally, looking at this movie, I can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate a whole bunch.
Well, yeah, you are a person who, when we're talking about gaming,
Yeah.
you're this guy. You play by yourself.
I play by myself. I have never really gotten into any kind of online thing. I know people who have, and they've made friends and met their partners and things like that through online gaming.
This is a very real thing that we have in the real world in
Right.
2021.
Right. So this game is an amalgamation of a whole lot of different things.
Yes.
You know, you combine like a World of Warcraft, a Second Life, there are social games that exist that are like still popular like very much now, where you just choose an avatar from pop culture. I think I showed you one of these the other day where you can just pick something from pop culture and other people have made these characters, these avatars, these whatever, this artwork and put it into these games and you can just be whatever you want.
And if it doesn't exist, they'll just make it.
Right.
And make it exist.
Right, you take a model from something else and just insert it into this game, and you are Pac-Man, you are, whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
So, it's all of that put into VR, and then you just throw in some fantastical things like I just tap my shoulder and I have a virtual interface in front of me and I can just pull up whatever is in my quote unquote inventory. Mm-hmm. You throw in a bunch of that stuff and it fleshes it out into what it is.
Yeah.
Which, that's really, really cool. And I can see how a populace in this world would be obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Because what they don't explain, and I really wish that they did. I think you probably feel the same way. I wish they fleshed out what the hell happened to this world to make it like this. Why is Columbus, Ohio, a slum?
Yeah, the actual outside world is trash.
Yeah.
It is trash.
Right. It's not that much in the future from where we are currently.
Right. So this movie takes place in 2045.
Yeah.
So a mere 24 years into the future.
Uh-huh.
But it is a pretty realistic future. So the game, the technology exists now that you can be in this fully engrossed game.
Right.
The only thing that we don't really have is the what did they call it? The treadmill that kind of moves, multi-directional treadmill.
Those do
They
exist to
but
a point.
they're not mainstream.
In 24 years, we could get there easily.
Yeah.
If you threw a lot of resources at it,
yeah.
this game could exist.
The VR headsets already exist.
Yeah,
the gloves that interact.
And the VR sets that are wireless exist.
Yeah.
Like you can just wear one down the street. I wouldn't recommend that because you can't see anything out of it.
That was one thing that I was noticing in this. There's all these people playing within the game, but then
Yeah.
there's people just on the street.
Yeah, also in the game.
And just flailing their arms.
Right.
So there's a little discontinuity about how you actually exist in this world. Like you can just walk around in the real world, but aren't you going to get hit by a car or something?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right. They could have elaborated more on the actual world itself and maybe some of the technology.
They mentioned a couple of things. I only wrote down one of them because I didn't remember the other.
Right.
Like the bandwidth wars was
Yeah.
one of the things that caused this to happen.
I missed that one.
There was one other one.
I don't know. I have a friend from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
And I would be curious what she thinks of future Columbus if she's ever watched this movie.
Right.
But yeah, so it's Ohio, it's 2045. I think it's pretty realistic, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
This kid lives in the stacks, which is basically the
slums.
The slums.
Yeah.
It's literally
Like
trailer
basically,
homes,
it's a mobile home court, but vertical.
Yeah. And he spends all his time just climbing up and down. And he seemingly does not do anything other than play in the Oasis.
Right. Which, in 2021, we're already talking about virtual currency.
Yep.
And
Credits.
in this particular world, you can earn money by playing these games, by doing tasks or work or whatever you want to call it within these games.
Again, realistic. It's just in this movie, it's real money.
Right.
Versus in the game where it's just fake money.
Right.
If you were to play a game in our real world.
Right. So like it's like you earn virtual currency in the game, but apparently that can translate into something that can be spent in the real world because, they even mention it here. You got to eat. Mm-hmm. Food is a thing still in whatever year this is. I don't know. My mind is kind of racing here as to what it is that really went on. Like the IOI Corporation. Mm-hmm. I don't understand what their whole thing is. I know it's a big corporation where their basic mission statement is find the keys, get the egg.
Okay, so let's back up. So let's just establish some things.
All right.
So the first 10 minutes of this movie, this was like exposition on steroids.
Sure.
Like this was so much that you need to know.
Yeah.
And they're trying to crank through it as fast as possible.
Right.
So there's this company that created this game.
Yep.
Halliday is this main guy who created the game with another man.
Yep.
They created the Oasis.
Think about him as a Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs,
Yes.
who created Apple.
Yes, so they created this world, and then when he died, he left a challenge. He hid an Easter egg in the game, and you have to look through the clues and his archive. He's kept a detailed record of all of his thoughts and dreams and visions and
all of his experiences since he started doing it,
Right.
basically.
He basically uploaded everything into the game, and if you are paying attention, you can crack the code, you beat 3 challenges, and then you will win the entire company. So IOI exists solely because of Sorrento, who is somebody who actually used to work for these game developers.
Yeah, he was an intern.
He was an intern. He had inside information, basically. And the sole purpose is to take over the company because he wants to sell advertising. He is the evil corporate overlord who wants to fill your gaming screen with 80% ads before you have a seizure.
Yeah.
That's it. It's an allegory for corporate greed, basically.
Yes. And I think the reason why my mind is kind of racing here is because of the analogs that we have in real world.
Yes.
We have these games. We have these games that think about Fortnite. Fortnite is the biggest game in the world right now, and they are making truckloads of money by the day.
Yes.
Because of this. And people all they're doing is buying virtual currency to buy on virtual goods in this game so that you look unique to the other players, so that you have, and it's not even an edge up, it's just, hey,
look how cool I am.
You want to look like a peeling banana? Sure, go ahead. You want to look like celebrity A over here that we gave a bunch of money to appear in the game, right? To appear in the game, you pay him $5 million. You're gonna make $100 million for people buying that. Yeah, because I am aware of so many different analogs to what this movie is, and this movie came out, was it 3 years ago?
2018.
Yeah, so 3 years ago, and the book came out, I'm sure, well before that.
It wasn't like that much longer before, but
no,
a few years,
right?
Certainly.
So, there's a lot of different things that have come out since then, and we saw a whole lot of different references to other games and other media in this, and that's the thing that is really causing me some difficulty here to express what my feelings are here, because damn it, we have these things already and they're already kind of bad.
Well, yeah, they show the memory where they show Sorrento actually working at this company.
Yeah.
And he's throwing out his ideas, and he's got the corporate mindset.
Yeah.
Well, we can make people pay different
Tiers.
levels. You can have tiers of membership.
Which
and
exist.
The more you pay, the better your stuff is.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's this whole world. That's the entire existence. I am not a gamer, but I understand that the whole thing is swag. And swagger.
Well,
it's just getting shit to make yourself cool.
Monetization.
Yeah. The more you
monetize your game so that you can get more and more people. That's why, the whole idea of a game that is quote unquote free to play.
Yeah.
It's free to play. You can
you
do
gotta watch
You can
ads.
do the thing that the main thing that you are actually doing in the game. You can do it for free.
Yes.
But the entire thing is filled with references to the fact that you can buy other shit.
Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade.
And it's not even like it'll make you better at the game. It'll give you an extra gun or this or that or the other.
You get a cool hat.
No, you get a hat. You get a hat.
Not even a real hat. It's a
And
virtual hat.
Your bullets look like turds. Shit, stuff like that,
Stupid nonsense.
Yeah.
But people spend money on it.
And it is incredible how much money is made by this stuff. Mm-hmm. And, people who play and make, quote unquote, regular games are terrified that, that kind of business model of just, hey, put out this one single player game that you can play once and be done with it.
Yep.
You pay your $50, $60, $70 for it, you put it on the shelf, and you might play it again in 5 years. That's not how you make a lot of money, though. Not these
anymore.
days. Not these days, because you know what? We have the platforms in order for you to just, here's your credit card is already in the system. Just click this button.
Yeah.
Just click this button. Just click this button.
Click the button.
It is so easy to do. Back in my day, if I want to get all old man on you, I had to go to a store. I had to tell the man behind the counter, I want that game. And I had to purchase it with my money, and I took it home. I took it out of the package. I read the instruction book. They don't come with instruction books anymore, Betsy.
Hell no. You got to learn by doing, Trent. Learn by doing.
And, I had to put it in the machine, and I played it. Now, everything is digital. You could buy a console, a box, or even a PC, and never buy anything physical except for the controller in your hand.
Right.
So
this all being said,
yeah.
bring it back to the movie.
Yeah.
So I think it literally just boils down to that. The little guy who makes the little game.
Right.
Or the person who just loves the game versus the corporations.
Yeah, the exploitation agents.
Yes.
Who, a company has to make money. I understand that, especially a public company. I work for a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
And they have to make money for their shareholders. That's it. So I understand that.
Yep. And there's literally, in this world, you can go into debt and pay off your debt by going to work for this corporation.
Right. And
doing whatever they need you to
corporation-
do in the game.
Yeah, and the corporation's main goal is to win the challenge.
Yes.
That's it. And now other people will play the challenge whenever they have a free moment, whenever they're not doing whatever it is that they're doing in the game for fun or pleasure or whatever else you get to do in there.
Yeah. So this is where it got, again, into so much like exposition and explaining what you need to know in a very, very short amount of time. So there are all these people. This happened in 5 years before this? So like 2040, this guy died.
Yeah.
And he put out this challenge. And at first it was mayhem, everybody trying to do it. But after 5 years, people have kind of cooled on it because they just sort of assume nobody's ever going to do it.
Right.
So it's like
Nobody's
a handful
even
of people.
found one. There's 3 keys. You have to find all 3 keys in order to access the actual ending.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like slang. So there's the Sixers, and that's the people who work for IOI who they just have a number, they don't have a name, and they all
Right.
start with 6.
Right.
And there's what did they call them? Gunters, egg hunters.
Yep.
Like it was a lot
Yep.
of weird little slang things.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's got an avatar, and there's artifacts, and there's all these different things. So this did make me think of this. This is a real thing that exists in the world. Not in the world of video games, but in the world of literature. Are you familiar with this?
No.
There is somebody, and the name of this person is escaping me. There is an author who wrote a series of books. And while he was still living, he wrote a book that he let everybody know is full of clues. He actually buried a treasure somewhere. He buried like an actual literal treasure chest, and he published a book that has everything you need to know to crack his code and find his treasure.
I have never heard of this.
Yes, this is real. And this was like 15 years ago or something. This guy died, and nobody has found it. This is a real thing. Somewhere in the world, Google this. I don't know the guy's name, but this guy has a book, and if you look at it, you can analyze it, and if you're smart, you will figure out his clues and find his treasure.
So what you're saying is there is a group of people who get hired to look through this stuff, look through the book, analyze it, and try to figure out what the treasure is?
So I believe he put out what the treasure is. I think it's literal gold. It's something made of actual gold.
Fine.
But no, you could go and get this book. If you are smart,
Right, I get that.
you could figure this out. But my point is, this is a real thing.
Okay, I see
So
what
there
you're
is
saying.
some inspiration here
Okay.
that in the world of Ready Player One, somebody has done this. And nobody has found it.
Yeah.
It still exists. I think people have sort of pieced together, it's in North America. Like, that's as much as they can figure out.
Pinpoint accuracy.
This American author wrote a book.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to look into this and get you a name because my friend told me about this in college. And in college, nobody had found it. And now, still nobody has found it. And that was, 15 years ago.
I mean, it's just you saying this sounds like an urban legend.
It's not, though. I swear to God, it's real.
And I believe you. It's one of these things that, it sounds like, oh yeah, my uncle who worked at this publishing company said that, oh yeah, there's a secret in there if you buy a bunch of books and you give them out to your students.
Nope. It's just one book.
Yeah.
It's all in like the artwork or something. I'm going to find out, put a pin in it. My point being,
All right.
there is some... Like, I get what you're saying, though. Like, in this world, it could easily be an urban legend that there's an Easter egg.
Sure.
Except for the fact that the man released a video and said,
Right.
I'm doing this.
Right.
And this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And what's the actor's name who...
So it's Mark Rylance.
Mark Rylance, which we've talked about him
Yes.
a couple of times in this podcast.
He's worked with Spielberg a few times now.
Yeah, he was in Bridge of Spies, that horrible piece of shit. Every time we bring it up, I'm going to say it.
And I believe he voiced the BFG, which
Okay.
I believe was another Spielberg thing.
Yes.
So they have now, in more recent years, worked together a number of times.
Good actor.
You had Simon Pegg. You had the guy who played Sorrento. Did you recognize him?
Yeah, he was in Rogue One.
And Captain Marvel.
That's right.
Yes. Then I recognized the actress who was in the second Ant-Man movie. She was the woman Finale. I think she.
That's
she
right.
Was called
she was
Finale.
in the white suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out where do I know her from.
Lots and lots of people that I recognize. But once again, a movie full of non-American actors playing Americans.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg doing an American accent. He's British. Mark Rylance is British.
He also had an accent when he was his avatar.
Yes.
In the thing.
Which you find out much later.
Which is not his real accent.
No, it's not.
No.
But that was something that I picked up. It's like every time somebody comes on screen, it's like British, not American, British.
Whatever.
Just one of those things. Even the kid's aunt. So he lives with his aunt, and she's got a piece of crap boyfriend. That guy is British. I've seen him in other things.
I've seen him in things too. Yeah.
One of the women who's like his neighbor. I've seen her in different things. She's British. So I don't know if that's just because they filmed this in the UK or what. But it's another one of those,
It's
everybody
who they could
playing
get.
Americans. They're all playing Ohioans.
Yeah.
Ohioans. Yeah, and what else? Oh my God, there was just so much. There was so much. Pop culture references. I just got a list. I noticed Jason from Friday the 13th. Jason was in this movie. They had the DeLorean from Back to the Future, the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, King Kong, Batman. You noticed Pee-wee's bicycle.
Pee-wee's bicycle from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, the Iron Giant. They mentioned Bill and Ted. They didn't show it.
Yeah.
The alien from Aliens, Goro from Mortal Kombat. I saw a poster in one scene that was I I think it's Goldstein or something. The guy who's running for mayor in Back to the Future. They had his election poster. They talked about The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller, The Shining plays
The
a big part.
Zemeckis Cube.
Yeah, there was a Gremlin, He-Man, The Joker, Chucky, Ninja Turtles, Serenity, which is the ship from Firefly.
Yeah.
So much stuff. So yeah, this is like a blink and you'll miss it kind of movie, but a lot is happening. So I'm not going to go into too much more detail. Just know that you could watch this movie many times and miss it all.
I'm sure people have already done the frame by frame analysis as to how many different references and characters and whatever else is in this. That's not what we're going to go over here, but holy shit.
No.
And we normally don't stop the movie when we're watching it just to go back and see something.
Sometimes we have to.
We had to do it a couple of times during this because especially during the big scenes, we just had to freeze it and just see, okay, I know that guy.
Yeah. My God. Yeah, it's so overwhelming. Like I said, they give you so much in the first like 10 minutes. It's just like, here's all the rules, here's all the things you need to know. And you're right, they don't talk about the outside world. This guy, Wade, he lives with his aunt.
Yeah.
We don't really know the situation exactly. Mom and dad are gone. That's pretty much all we get. We don't know if he's in high school, if he's an adult.
Is there school?
Like, they showed a high school, but it was, like, spray painted over. So
Yeah.
it's almost indicating that there is no high school. Like,
Everybody goes to school in the virtual reality.
I guess.
Maybe.
So, yeah, we just sort of dive right into it, and we find out the first challenge is a race.
Yeah.
And it's in a virtual New York City, and it's, chaos. He's driving the DeLorean.
Yep.
As one does.
The DeLorean from Back to the Future, of course.
The time machine, not just a DeLorean.
Yeah, the time machine, yes.
Yes, the time machine, if you will. And he crashes and burns in glorious fashion because King Kong always stops it.
Yeah.
But he manages to piece together some clues that if you go through the race backwards, it'll take you basically exactly to the end of the game underneath.
Which-
So you made a comment about this. So talk about this.
Okay, so two things. One, there is an Atari game that I think they reference in the movie where it's Pitfall is the name of the game.
Okay.
In Pitfall, it is an adventure game where you play a dude who is just going across the screen, avoiding obstacles and getting points by avoiding obstacles. It's a very rudimentary game, pretty advanced for its time though. But in Pitfall, you can actually go backwards, go to the left instead of going to the right, where that every other game up to that point and beyond.
Yeah.
You go from left to right.
Linear. It's
Yeah.
you go this way.
But if you go right to left, when you first start the game is much easier. You can get a much higher score and things like that.
And nobody even really thought to go that way because they just assumed you had to go to the right.
They start you on the left side of the screen.
Always.
You expect, I'm going to make progress by going over to the right.
As in every other game up until that point.
Right. And of course, this dude came up during the 70s with Atari.
Yeah.
That's when he grew up. Mm-hmm. The other thing which has to do with him like going underneath. So how video games work, like mechanically, like he's driving underneath in this green virtual reality type of thing, and he can see above him the actual world. Well, in a video game, the things that you are interacting with are not always loaded into the game itself.
Yeah.
They showed the T-Rex.
Yeah. It's underground on a little platform.
Underground, and it's like coming up from the ground, quote unquote, spawning on the play area.
And it's triggered. It
And
doesn't
it's
just
right.
it's not just there.
Right.
It shows up when it's supposed to.
Right, and all of this stuff is scripted in video games, especially like even to this day. Like you just go to a thing, that thing isn't always there. Because if they were to try to load every single asset from the game
Yeah.
at the same time, You can't do that.
That's how glitches happen.
You can't. You literally cannot do that. There is not enough memory there to load it all. So guess what? They have to load it in as you are interacting with it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a cool representation of how this game is actually functioning.
Yeah.
Like peeking behind the curtain, as it were.
Well, and he says, nobody gets past Kong. That's the rule. Well, yeah, because everybody's thinking of it in a linear fashion.
Right.
You have to go this way because that's how you have to go. And Kong's going to get you and beat you.
Yeah.
And you lose. But he figures out, just kidding, I'm going to go the other way.
Yep.
And he does it. So he gets the first key. And then he, of course, tells his friends, like one at a time, this is how you win. And they all start figuring out.
And you're given a clue.
Yeah, because like any good game with an Easter egg, especially in the age of the internet, once one person has done it, the secret's out.
Oh, yes.
So there are very few things that are unknown to the world once they are discovered.
But in the 70s and 80s, when this guy started coming up, there was no internet.
No.
You had to hear
a magazine or something.
You had to hear it from your friends. Like, that's where the whole shtick about, I heard from my friend, if you do this, 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 and that, then her clothes come off. Or like what was it? The nude code for Lara Croft,
right?
In the PlayStation,
yeah.
Like, and that was when the internet was still a thing.
Or you could
easily prove that that's not true.
Or you could lock the butler in the attic.
Yes, that's the other Lara Croft thing. That's not a cheat. That's just
if
commitment.
You run fast enough.
That's just commitment.
Stupid crap like that you find out.
But and like Mortal Kombat, we mentioned, that's all over this movie, and like, oh yeah, if you beat Scorpion on this level 5 times in a row, then that'll unlock the character that's in the background on fire.
And some is real, and some is just some bullshit.
And most of that is complete bullshit. But you know what they did in the future games? In one of the Mortal Kombat games, the dude who's on fire in the background became a real character. He wasn't a real character then. That rumor was complete BS, but they made him into a real thing because of this stupid rumor.
It was so prevalent that they were like, screw it, let's do it.
Yes.
Let's make him a character.
Yes. That's the kind of video game makers that I respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's this guy. He respects where things have come from. He has
Halliday, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has reference for where he came from.
Well, and he's a straight up pop culture nerd. They say it many times.
Yeah.
He's a nerd, which is why this movie is so full of just layers and layers and layers.
Everything.
Yep. So they get the first challenge, and then they have their clue that it's something to do with the creator who hates his creation.
Yeah.
And it's revealed that the 2 creators of the game, it's Halliday, and then I can't remember the other character's name, but Simon Pegg's character created the game with him.
Yep.
And he got him to sell his shares, basically. So he was kicked out. Halliday took over.
Yep.
And he apparently went on a date with the woman who would become the other guy's wife.
Right, and he regretted that he didn't take the plunge, didn't take the jump,
leap. Yep.
The leap. Thank you. With that woman, he didn't
make a move.
He didn't make a move. Exactly.
And she wanted to go dancing, but they watched a movie instead, and the movie they watched was The Shining.
Right.
And yes, this is literally the hotel from The Shining.
Yeah.
Now again, you've never seen The Shining.
I haven't seen The Shining. I know quite a bit about it just through other pop references.
Yep.
It's one of these movies you can't avoid what it's about and what happens.
We got the creepy girl twins, and I saw these elevators, and I just started screaming,
blood,
elevator full of blood, elevator full of blood, before it even happened, because it's just like, this is what's going to happen here. And then the guy runs into the room 237, and I said, no, don't go to 237. Bad things happen in 237.
Yeah.
And this actually was a sequence that was really cool, and I have to assume that this was actual footage from the movie, and they just superimposed
the character.
the characters over it, which would
Yeah.
actually be really easy to do it that way versus the other way where you're trying to
Recreate it.
Yeah, where
Right.
you're trying to recreate it. Some of it was recreated, like the woman when she turns into like decrepit old lady with a knife. Some of that was changed for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you never actually see Jack Torrance. You never actually see Jack Nicholson. But yeah, I'm like, okay, yes, I see the little bike, the kid that rides his little tricycle through the hallways. His bike is sitting there. And the picture that they look at is in The Shining, except instead of Jack Torrance being in the middle, so it's Jack Nicholson's character. There is a picture where Jack Nicholson is front and center. And he is replaced here with Halliday.
Yeah.
And then
woman.
the woman is right next to him. So they figure out, oh, she's in the ballroom and she's in there and you have to get to her. And the only
Now-
way to do it is to jump.
Is the ballroom in the movie?
Yes. The
Okay.
ballroom is in the movie.
Is there dancing?
I don't remember if they're specifically dancing.
But that's where one would dance.
Yes. There are references to the ballroom. Like he goes and gets a drink in the ballroom.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, that whole sequence was pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then, of course, everybody playing this game is in a horror movie.
Right.
Screaming and frantically
Yeah,
flailing.
once IOI finds out, oh, it's in the Shining area.
We all just have to get through The Shining.
Yeah, so it's just all of these people in their VR sets just screaming and encountering all of the different things in the Shining Hotel. And
Yep.
it's pretty great.
And they're able to figure this out because Stephen King wrote The Shining
Yep.
and he hated the movie The Shining.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yep.
But Artemis, which is the lady that our main character befriends, she is the first.
Falls in love with Betsy.
Okay, well, whatever, whatever. They're able to figure that out.
Yeah.
We skipped a little bit. So before that, they thought it was a dance club.
Yeah.
And that's where he used the Zemeckis cube. I just want to bring that up.
Which causes
It's a Rubik's cube, but it's a Zemeckis cube,
which causes everything to go back in time by 60 seconds.
which is so stupid. I have to assume Zemeckis cube came from. I don't know if that's in the book or if Spielberg did that specifically
I
for this
feel
movie.
like that was a Spielberg thing.
But yeah, I was like, what are all these gadgets? Of course, we're going to call it the Zemeckis cube, whatever. So yeah, that was a funny little moment.
Yeah.
So we figure out the Shining thing. So now we've got 2 keys. So we've accomplished 2 of the tasks. So this is where kind of the Oasis world and the real world start to collide a little bit more. The Sorrento guy like makes Wade an offer and he says, "Come work for me. You don't have to do this. I'm going to give you all this money." And when he says no, he blows up his house. 'Cause why not?
Yeah, and kills his aunt.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And probably a bunch of other people there too.
Yeah, because he's a horrible villain. That's
Businessman.
I'm sorry, a businessman. He's a boss man.
Boss man 69,
Who
Betsy.
can't remember his own stupid password, and he has to put it
That
on
was
a piece
nice
of paper.
touch. That was a nice touch.
And they all get together, so his friends from in the game start showing up in real life.
Yeah.
So Artemis basically has a bunch of guys who are the resistance,
Resistance.
and she sends somebody to go get him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where they figure out that second clue. They go about their business, and then they're already able to figure out where the third key is going to be, just because they had hackers, like IOI had hackers or something.
They had already had some clue as to where the third
They'd
key
narrowed
was.
it down.
Yeah, so they already kind of knew some portion of it, and I think them finding out the first and second keys, that got the rest of it.
Yeah.
So they know where it is. And the third challenge is you have to play a game of adventure for the 2600.
Right. But they don't know that. They just know
No.
you have to play the Atari.
Yes.
So they have a line of guys, just
They have a line
nameless
of people.
goons.
Yeah, they have a line of people lined up to play every single Atari game known to man.
until
There are a lot of them.
until they figure out which one it is.
Until they figure out which one it is, which I guess they have some people there. They said, oh, it's probably this. And they kind of time it. It's like, well, okay. They haven't died yet. They haven't fallen through the ice yet.
1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Yeah. So once they get to adventure, the guy keeps on playing.
So why do they figure out it's adventure, Trent? Explain adventure.
So Adventure is one of the first Atari games ever put out. Now, I never had an Atari. I don't really have a lot of context personally to this, but I am aware of somebody who has told this story before. Back in the early days of Atari, and a lot of different video game companies did this in the 80s too, you didn't really get any kind of credits
No.
for games at all. At all. Because the biggest reason why they didn't do it is because if the names were in there, other video game companies would come and poach them.
Yeah, the designers were so in demand.
Correct.
They didn't want them to be taken.
So many different... There weren't anybody who knew how to do this.
It was a handful.
And a lot of times it was one dude or one chick who completely designed, programmed, and made the game themselves.
Especially in those days.
But it got put out. But it got put out under the company name. It got put out under Atari's name and Activision and Electronic Arts. A lot of those companies are still out today.
An umbrella company, if you will.
Yes. Well, they're all different companies. Anyway, but in Adventure, they explain it in the movie. This guy programmed in this little Easter egg. It was the first Easter egg to ever be programmed in a game. If you did this very obscure thing, nobody would ever try to do it. Mm-hmm. But if you knew what you were doing, it would be pretty easy, like the man says.
And it's not even hard. You're just like wandering around in the dark.
And you just happen to click or press the button in this certain area, and then, oh, I have something in my inventory. I am holding something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to take it all the way to the beginning of the game. You go past this little thing. And then magically, there's the guy's name. The guy who programmed the entire game of Adventure.
Yep.
That was the first Easter egg.
There you go.
Yeah. It's really neat.
So yeah, it's a layered reference if you are a fan of games.
And again,
for this movie.
And again, this guy, again, has reverence for the old games. They show him at the very end of the game in his bedroom, his childhood bedroom. Playing the Atari. And, by this year, no one really is going to remember the Atari. Mm-hmm. But, our main character here, he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the people who are really, really, really into this world, they have studied this man. They have studied everything related to this man.
Right.
All of his hopes and dreams and wishes.
Yeah,
and
Artemis even gives him a little quiz, like what's his favorite thing, what's his favorite quote, his favorite movie, favorite
song, favorite this, favorite that.
Okay, all right. Speaking of songs, there is so many licensed songs in this movie.
This is like an 80s rock anthem, 80s pop.
Yeah.
The soundtrack's good.
It was good, but it was kind of weird. It was, again, it seems a little bit too pandery to the audience. The people who are coming to see this movie are a bunch of nerds. Us two included.
Yes.
So putting in, very, very popular songs and putting in all these popular characters, I have a hard time not
You're cynical.
thinking. I am a cynical person to a point, to a fault sometimes. I like the movie. I do. And I like a lot of these properties. But I think Spielberg went a little bit too far in pulling on those threads to really to evoke those emotions that most of the audience going to see this will have.
Okay, I will say again, we haven't read the book, so I don't know how much of that is Spielberg and how much of that was written that way.
Yeah.
Because it is entirely possible that in the book it says, we open with the song Jump. There's a reference to that song, or there's a reference to Hall & Oates, or there's a reference to Joan Jett or something.
Yeah.
So, I can't.
And I'm not saying
say
just
it's
about the
him.
music. I'm
I don't have
just
the
saying
context.
all of the different characters that are. It was a little much for me, and it was. There's so many different properties all put together. Sometimes I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Like, were those really the Ninja Turtles?
Oh, those were definitely the Ninja Turtles.
Right. And like, with zero context, none. Just throw in these characters because you can.
Yes, because you can.
Yeah.
And again, you have to equate it to these are all properties that were favorites of the man who designed the world.
Yeah.
They exist in this world because he wanted them to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you were to design a world to your specifications.
Mm-hmm.
You also, if you had the option, put a bunch of nonsense in. You'd have
Yeah.
all the games that only make sense to you. You'd have all the movies that only make sense to you.
Right. So this is the thing that I'm going to tell myself to make it okay. Because again, knowing what I know about intellectual property, this would be impossible to do unless one company owned everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which in this case, it seems like that happened.
Yeah.
So Oasis, the company that runs Oasis,
They bought everything.
they bought every video game property known to man.
Because Columbus, Ohio is the fastest growing city because this is the fastest growing company.
Yes.
So the company has all the resources to do it.
Right. That's the only thing I can really think of. Because it's not only video game characters, it is movie references and characters
Yes.
and things like that. They just own everything. Or at least they own the rights to everything.
That's right.
Or
It's the future, Trent.
Or, like I said before about Fortnite, just to date this podcast, Fortnite is just buying up these licenses. And these licensees want to be included in Fortnite because it is the biggest thing in the world. Oasis is the biggest thing in the world.
Yes.
So all of these other properties, these other companies who own these properties want to be included
They want a
in
piece.
Avatar.
They want a piece of the action.
I just said Avatar. In Oasis.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of Avatar vibes from this
Well,
too.
sure, same thing. Like
Yeah.
when you're having the exciting climax and he's in the game, but he's hooked up and he's being throttled around in the
Right.
real world.
Right.
It's just like, stop moving the car. But yeah, there's a couple of things that are important to note. So the IOI guy has an orb. It's a level 99 artifact that basically locks out. You have to whisper a magic spell and it creates a force field and nobody can get in. And they manage to overcome it and everybody bursts in, but then everybody starts dying, and he has something called the Cataclysm, which is an item that will literally kill every single player in the game.
Yep.
And I said to you, I have a feeling that this doesn't actually do what he thinks it does.
It did.
I was wrong.
It did.
I don't know why that would exist in this game. What purpose does that serve? Like, in a world that's supposed to be a fun game designed by this guy, why would you include something that can kill every player?
Yeah. Which, okay, I was kind of questioning, what language is that?
Yeah.
Like the thing that I came to mind was, is that like Elvish? Is that fucking...
Is it Klingon?
Klingon? That was the other thing. No. The spell cast to use the Orb of Asuvux, sure, is from the movie Excalibur in modern Irish Gaelic.
All right, then.
Yeah.
Another layered, nerdy reference.
Very, very.
I've never seen... I don't know that movie.
Nor do I. But yeah. So, another video game reference here. Aren't you glad I'm here to explain all
I
this
am.
shit?
So the Cataclysm in the movie, it does what it says, and
It just
everybody
kills everybody.
dies.
Everybody
So,
in the game dies.
our hero is able to come back because he has an extra life, but
Yes.
that's a whole different thing. But
We're not gonna get into that.
You had another comment in the video game world. Explain this thing.
So, I never played this game. It's World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Okay? It is an online game.
It's been around a while.
A long time, since 2004. It is still going.
Yes.
In World of Warcraft, they can only change so many things at any given time. Like, the base game is the base game.
But it's
And-
on all the time.
Exactly. So they can only change a few things here and there, and they're very minor. The game makers wanted to make a big change. They wanted the ability to add in things that you can ride, and they wanted to add in new areas that you wouldn't be able to normally access. Again, this is just my memory is fuzzy on this.
A system overhaul was required, basically.
Sure. So what happened in the game was the game makers decided to put out something called Cataclysm.
So very similar name.
Very similar name. And it basically wiped everything out. I don't think it wiped all the characters, though. Mm-hmm. I think it just wiped out the world, and it allowed the game makers to basically start fresh. It's like, okay, guys, we're going to take the game in a completely different direction. You're going to like it, and if you don't, you can leave. You know, it is what it is.
It's our game. Fuck you.
Your characters are still there. We're going to try to give you some extra stuff. We're going to wipe everything out here and start new.
Yeah. And they did it.
That seems to me like that's maybe where they were getting that from.
Again,
I don't know.
The name is too damn similar for it to mean anything else.
Again, I never played it, but I know about it. And it happened a long time ago. It's probably happened more than 10 years ago, and the fucking game is still going. So it must have done okay.
Yeah. So he gets to adventure. Our hero is the only one left in the game.
Yeah, and he knows the reference to the Easter egg and how to get to it.
He knows how to beat it, and he does, and he gets the key. I liked this little moment where the avatar of Halliday shows up, and of course, like I said, he is in the real world being thrashed about in a van, so he's trying to reach for the key, and he can't get it, and he goes, well, do you want it or not?
Yeah.
Like, dude.
That little stuff was funny.
Yeah. Mark Rylance is a very dry man. He's a very dry actor.
Yeah.
And it's probably that British thing, but he's funny when he wants to be.
Yeah.
He's very funny. So he gets the key, and he's ushered into this room. He enters all 3 keys. This wall opens up, and it's a room full of gold and magic, and there's
a giant shining egg.
And the avatar is there, and he tells him, sign this here, and you'll get the company. It's all for you.
Yep. But Betsy.
And you're the sole proprietor.
But Betsy, it's a test.
It's a test.
Yes. He says, no, I'm not going to do that.
He says no.
Oh, thank you. I was just making sure.
Yes.
Just making sure.
And then we're basically, again, live action.
Yep.
We're in a room
we
that's
get
like
transported to a memory of his when he was a child.
Mm-hmm.
The room he grew up in the 70s. Or 80s, I think they mentioned.
I would say early 80s, maybe.
Probably 80s. And it's him basically explaining, you know what? I was a really nerdy kid. I didn't really know how to interact with other people. And, you know, I
didn't take chances. I didn't live my life.
I created this game to kind of get out of things. To get out of it. Because it was so hard for me to live in the reality. Mm-hmm. But he says, you know, reality is real.
Yeah.
And
this is a game.
And this is just a game. I think he was glad that our hero really realized it and understood it. Mm-hmm. So
let me ask you this question. Wade's character.
Yeah.
He says, so you're not an avatar. Is Halliday really dead? And he says, yes.
Yeah.
But he asks him, what are you then?
He doesn't say.
And he doesn't say. What do you think he is?
Probably an AI.
Do you think that it is possible that in this complex world he has created, that it is a version of his consciousness?
Yes.
That
it's all of his memories are there.
Yeah, because how do you get this room designed with an image of himself? And it's real. It's not animated. It's not a computer.
And I think in the world of Ready Player One, this man has discovered the ability to scan his brain and upload his consciousness to this game.
For this purpose.
For this purpose.
And this purpose alone.
Yeah.
And he clearly did it when he was old because he is uploaded and in the game he is old.
The only other thing I can think of is that Simon Pegg's character has been working on this after he died.
Maybe.
Like they were working together on this game up until the day he died, and you know, he's no dummy. Like, he helped make the game as well. We don't really know much about him. So that's the only thing I can think of, is that he was working on this, I guess, the end of the game, maybe? Or continuing on with the development of this AI, of this man who really existed. And who else better to program the AI than someone who really, really knew him well?
Yeah. His one friend.
Yeah.
He had one friend. Okay.
And again, it's very much a Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak kind of a thing. Woz was this guy who died.
One is the brains and
Yeah.
one is the ideas.
Yeah.
They're different things.
Yeah. And Steve Jobs was this charismatic guy who, decided, you know what, I'm going to use this to make money. And Woz never really...
He just wanted to play with computers.
He just wanted to build computers and, make a little bit of money. He had no idea it would ever grow up to be this big thing. And Woz, I think, met Steve Jobs when they worked at Atari together.
Yeah.
If you can believe that.
Yeah.
So
You just got to get the right people together.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this movie. I like the fact that it is allowed to be nerdy in all the best ways.
All right, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up there's one F word
Of course.
in this movie.
Fucking Chucky.
They have Chucky, the murdering doll.
Yeah.
And they say, here, use this little guy
As a weapon.
as a weapon, and he's just Chucky with a knife flailing, and he is thrown at one of the Sixers and who screams, "Fucking Chucky!
Fucking Chucky!"
It's fucking Chucky!" Did you have any little moments like that you really appreciated, just for
man.
their nerdy pop culture-ness?
I mean, it was weird when Goro came around and then the alien popped out of his chest.
And then it's a puppet.
It's just a puppet, yeah. Because Goro was a puppet.
Yep. Yeah, and there's just little, stickers on everything.
Yeah.
And at one point he screams Hadouken.
Hadouken!
It's just so many things.
And I think it's maybe a little bit over the top. It's like, okay, come on. Even people who really, really like video games don't do that shit. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to have to let this one stew for a little while to see how I feel about it in the long run.
Yeah.
I like movies that are chock full of pop culture references because I like pop culture. It's what I recognize. It's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
You're good at video games. So again, you have a different interpretation because you get this world.
Yeah.
So I think there are things that I really appreciated about this. I thought overall this was pretty good. I would be curious to hear from someone who has an altered opinion about this, who found this to be not good, to be divisive.
What I would like to know is if there's anybody out there who has actually read the book and seen the movie.
Or one or the other, and you just have strong opinions.
Yeah.
I would like to hear your strong opinions.
Because I don't really have a strong opinion about this movie.
No.
I thought it was good. I like the fact that it was a lower key kind of a story. It doesn't have to be a, save the world kind of a thing.
I was a little concerned when you pointed out there's still 40 minutes left in this, that it was going to feel really, really long.
Yeah.
But it moved along. I think the pacing saved it because that freaked me out where it's like, oh my God, there's 40 more minutes of this. And then it kind of flew by. So go figure.
Yeah. I had the same feeling.
Yeah, I think the pacing was good that it didn't feel as long as that.
And I think them switching back between the Oasis and the real world helped. I wish they spent more time in the real world.
Yep. And they touch on that.
If there's any regret I had about this is that, man, I really wish that they would have explained why the world is the way it is.
And maybe that's just, again, part of the point. So, at the end of the movie, he does take over the company, but he manages it with his friends. And they turn off the game Tuesdays and Thursdays, so people are forced to spend time in the real world.
Which is well and fine. But you just got $500 billion. and all you're doing is hanging out in your loft apartment with your girlfriend.
Making out, Trent.
Making out?
Making out is a good way to spend a Tuesday.
Let me get to my point here, Betsy. All you're doing is just hanging out in your retro apartment when maybe you could use some of your money to help the people where you used to live.
They didn't touch on it. It doesn't mean he didn't. He's got trillions
know.
of dollars now.
I know. I realize that. But you talked about, sentimental things. Like, they could have had an entire, montage of shit that he was doing to, help his people, help things out. Maybe
the movie is 2 hours and 20 some minutes. Do you really need it to be longer to get some summary of what he does after? No. Just let it go, Trent.
Allow me to feel better about the 2 hours and 20 minutes that I just spent on this movie. Give me a little bit more to make me feel okay about that. But yes, I didn't hate it. I liked it. It was fine. I don't see why it is divisive.
Yeah, I think it must have to do with the book.
Most of the time, that's what it is.
I would really like to know if that's it or if it is something I have just completely overlooked.
Is this like the Martian level of deviation? I would like to know that.
Please tell us.
Yes.
Sometimes we get email. Speaking of segues.
You're so good at that.
We have an email.
Why, yes, Betsy, we did get an email.
Who is it from, Trent?
It is from Suparfan Step Haney.
Oh, Suprafan Stefani.
Yes, that one.
That one.
And this person is talking about The Karate Kid.
That's a movie we watched.
Yeah, we like to watch movies sometimes. But she says, "Yay, it's such a good movie. Mr. Miyagi is definitely the best part. I do absolutely feel bad for every child that was subjected to that horrible Cobra Kai sensei."
Yeah, that guy was a dick.
What a jerk.
Yeah,
she's more kind about it.
Well, I'm not. He's a dick.
He is a dick. He is basically a child abuser. Yeah?
Fact.
Yeah. I had my fair share of bad coaches, but whoa, that guy just sucks. Pat Morita is so good in that scene where you learn about his backstory. I also learned about Japanese internment camps way too late. I don't know if South Dakota history classes spend as much time on Civil War as we do in Missouri, but I feel like some of that time could have been spent on World War II and internment camps.
Truth.
Yes, we'll get to more of that. Being kicked in the face fixed Johnny's personality. Yeah, because he says,
it saved him.
Hey, yeah, you're all right, kid.
Head trauma will do that sometimes.
I don't know what he's doing in the new movie if he's still a bad guy. TV show. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know if he's like changed his ways on the TV show.
I'm pretty sure they're like friends now.
Probably. You can't hold a grudge for that long.
No, get over it. It's like 40 years ago. My God, you were teenagers.
Yeah.
Who's the same person as they were when they were teens?
God, I hope. Jeez.
God, I hope not.
Oh,
that would be awful.
Horrible.
I sucked.
Yeah. And then she finishes, "Now I want to learn karate." Oh, it was from Superfan Stephanie.
Oh, I'm sorry. We misread that. It was from Superfan Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, I agree. Like the whole not learning about, maybe the dark history of the United States should be probably covered more so that the kids understand where we came from, so we understand where we are.
The phrase, "those who fail history are doomed to repeat it."
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
learn from their mistakes.
You gotta learn from history.
Are destined to repeat their mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole thing. Yeah. Understand where you come from so that you know where you're going.
So that you don't do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very important. And, it's not that, you don't like the country. It's a matter of, recognize that things change and you learn for the better.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
Yes. And
that's the least of what you could say about it.
That's the nicest way we can put it. And there's a lot to unpack.
Oh, yes. And fortunately, I think our generation, and I think Stephanie is in this same generation. Our generation understands these things. We have a lot more access to history and information than any of our previous generations have. So we want to use that information for good and not just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah. Google it, guys.
Yeah.
It's so easy now.
Learn some shit. But Betsy, that is the end of this episode.
That's right.
I've never seen it.
So, how do the people find us, Trent?
I'm not going to give out our address.
Okay, well...
Maybe the people who we invite onto the show, maybe as a guest sometime, if they happen to be in town, maybe.
If they're not that lucky, how do they find us on the World Wide Web?
Oh, an electronic address.
Correct.
Or to send electronic mail.
That would be ideal.
What would such a thing be called? Would it be an electronic address of some kind?
Mayhaps.
What if I just told you what it is?
That is what I'm asking for.
Okay, it is neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Email us, please. What I want to hear from you is about this episode, other episodes. Give us topics of conversation. That's the things that we like doing the most, other than, talking about the movie.
That we just watched.
Yeah. But yeah, send us an email, neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, neverseenit_pod. And if you wish, if you please, if you have some extra scratch, throw it our way. Click the link in the podcast description about support. Throw us $1, throw us $5 or $10, whatever bucks you got. Send it our way. We will very much appreciate it. But Betsy, that's it for us today.
That was Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
We've done it.
It's done. Is it game over yet? What other video game references can we make?
Game over, man.
That's a different movie.
Terminator 2? They referenced that in this movie.
That's right, they did. Iron Giant. Was that... Okay, we need to look this up. Was that Vin Diesel doing the Iron Giant voice? I doubt it.
I don't know.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
But God damn it, I wish they did.
That would be fun. That would be fun. But until we'll have more things to look up. So until next time.
Until next time, I've been Trent.
I've been Betsy.
And this has been Never Seen It. We'll see you on the flip side.
Bye-bye.